Hi, welcome to today's Vinyasa flow. For today's practice, we're going to be working with just one block and we're going to get started in a reclined position. Making your way to your back body, soles of the feet will press into the mat, feet at hip distance, knees pointed up towards the sky. Hands can rest on your belly or down on the floor, whatever feels more comfortable. Give yourself a few rounds of breath to settle in. Maybe encouraging those inhales and exhales to lengthen just a bit here. On an inhale, sweep right leg towards the sky. You might roll out your ankle here for a bit or point and flex the toes. Just whatever movement feels good in that ankle joint. When you're ready, bend your right knee. Right ankle rests over left knee for reclined figure 4 here. Goal here is opening that right hip. So pressing the right knee away from your body. You can use your hand or just energetically. You are welcome to stay right here. This is typically my preferred version. Or you can lift left foot off the mat. Hands come behind that left thigh or around the left shin. Whichever version feels best for you. Give yourself a handful of breaths right here. Noticing if that right knee wants to start hugging in towards the chest, totally normal. Just activating it away as much as you can. Not causing any pain or zinging, of course. Just feeling that activation. When you're ready, unwind both feet back down to the mat and take some windshield wipers here, letting the knees fall side to side, moving at a nice easy pace that feels good for you. We'll pause next time your knees point up towards the sky. Other side, inhale, extend left leg towards the sky. Taking a moment here, you can point and flex the toes or roll out the ankle, whatever movement feels good. Next breath, when you're ready, bend that left knee, left ankle over right knee. Reclined figure 4 on this side. Gentle pressure, left knee away from the body. Can use your hand or energetically activating that outer hip. Right sole of the foot can stay planted or lift that sole of the foot. Hands come behind the right thigh or around the right shin. Giving yourself a few breaths wherever you choose to be on this side. Keeping that openness in the hips. When you're ready, unwind both soles of the feet back to the mat. You can keep your feet at hip distance or take your feet wider towards the edges of the mat, adding in windshield wipers with those wider feet. If that feels good, go for it for a few rounds. If your body felt better with the feet at hip distance, take your feet back to hip distance and continue with those windshield wipers. Just one more round wherever you are. And we'll meet with knees pointed up towards the sky. Hug your knees into your chest here. And a few rock and rolls up and down that spine until you make your way to a seated position. Rolling over shins and ankles. Come right to tabletop here. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. On an inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. Exhale, round your spine, press away from the mat. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine here. 2 more rounds of this cat series, working at your pace of breath, adding in whatever movement feels right for you. We'll meet at a neutral spine after that next round. Long back of the neck as the crown of the head points forward. Walk your hands forward, a handprint, tuck your toes, lift your hips for downward facing dog. Pressing into both hands equally, really lengthening that spine. Hips lift up towards the sky. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up, you can look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, connecting with that breath. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Adding on, inhale, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank position. Inhale and plank on toes or knees. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Elbows graze the ribs, untuck toes, hands back by hips. Inhale, lift for locust. Squeeze that back body. Exhale, back to the mat twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Engage the back body. Exhale, lower. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back for downward facing dog. Or you can take tabletop or a child's pose for a few rounds of breath. Whatever feels best for you. Child's pose is great for opening the hips. Tabletop is great to warm up the spine. Or downward facing dog, lengthening those hamstrings. Listening to what your body's looking for. Next breath or two, make your way back to a down dog if you're not already there. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, crown of the head points forward. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, you can look up. Exhale, forward fold, everything releases. Inhale, half lift, long legs, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank position. Inhale and plank, press away from the mat. Exhale, lower to the mat, elbows graze the ribs, untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Elbows stay hugged in. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale for tabletop, child's pose, or downward facing dog. About a handful of breaths here. Whichever shape you choose to be in, give yourself a little time there. Next breath or two, make your way back to a down dog. If you're continuing to flow, you can always choose to stay in another shape if that feels best. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky, toes stay pointed down. Exhale, warrior one, right foot between the hands, back foot in and out at 45 degrees. Inhale, arms lift, press into both feet. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank position. Inhale and plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky. Exhale, warrior one, other side, left foot between the hands, back foot in and out. Strong base here as your arms frame the face. Next breath, hands to the mat. Step back to plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana, hips sink down, arms lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we'll be shifting to toe stand here. Weight comes towards your toes, heels lift off the mat. And you might pause here, just practicing shifting your weight to the toes and then heels back to the mat. That is lovely. If you're joining for toe stand, begin to lower your hips towards your heels, pausing where your knees tell you to. When you're ready, inhale, arms open for cactus. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Nice and slow, we'll reverse out the same way we got in. Slowly lifting the hips, extending through chair, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center, heels to the mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step just your left foot back for crescent and lower that back knee, Anjaneyasana. Taking your block with you, highest setting on the right side, lined up with that left knee, arms lift. Then right hand plants down to the block, left arm overhead, side stretch here. Keeping that length in the left side body as your fingertips reach. Inhale, come back to center. Tuck the back toes and then lift the back knee, return to crescent. Hands down to the mat, low lunge. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your right foot back, lower the back knee. Inhale, shift that block to the other side. And then lifting your arms here. Left hand, I should say, plants to the block, right arm overhead. Block feels far away, you can come to the knuckles here. Keeping that length here in the right side of the body. Next breath, lift back to center. Tuck the back toes, engage that back leg to lift to crescent. Hands to the mat. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Shifting that block out of your way. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior two. Back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Arms at shoulder height. Press into the blade edges of both feet. Inhale, right palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, right arm overhead. Inhale, extended side angle, left arm overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat, low lunge. Bit of a funky transition here. Step back to three-legged down dog, right leg lifts. Next breath, bring right knee towards that right wrist. Lay your shin down on the mat, lowering down for pigeon. Keeping your heart lifted, hands can stay on the mat or hands come to hips. Full breath here wherever you are. Next breath, hands back to the mat, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step back to down dog. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior two. Arms at shoulder height, pressing into the blade edges of both feet. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, right arm overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step back to three-legged dog, left leg stays lifted. Next breath, left knee towards the left wrist. Lay your shin down on the mat. Back knee lowers, back toes untuck. Hands can stay on the mat or hands on hips. Full breath here. Hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, chair, hips sink down, fingertips lift. Draw your hands to heart center. Figure four chair, weight shifts to the left foot. Right foot becomes light. Rest that right ankle over left knee. Right knee presses towards the floor. Keeping your hips nice and low. Whew. Upper body lifted here. Next breath, extend your right leg long behind you. Crescent. Arms frame the face. Next breath, hands come to heart center. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, pour your weight into that front foot. Warrior three. Toes point down towards the mat. Pause for just a moment. Next breath, bend into your front knee. Return to crescent. Exhale, step forward to chair. Hands come to heart center. Other side, weight pours to the right foot. Left foot becomes light. Figure four chair. Holding this here for a moment. Hips nice and low. Heart stays lifted. Left knee presses towards the floor. Then extend your left leg long behind you for crescent. Inhale, arms frame the face. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, pour your weight forward. Exhale, warrior three. Toes point down towards the mat. Crown of the head points forward. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Return to crescent. Exhale, step forward to chair. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, press into your heels, straighten your legs, Tadasana. Next breath, take your arms wide, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, a half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, then reach up as tall as you can. Exhale, hands to heart center. Preparing for tree. Hands can stay at your heart or maybe try them at your hips. That can feel nice and centering. Weight pours to your left foot. Right foot might rest just above the ankle, right on the calf, or up to the inner thigh. Not focusing on how high we can get the foot, but keeping that hip nice and open. Hands can stay on your hips. Maybe fingertips reach towards the floor. Sweep them up towards the sky, whatever feels right for you. Wave them around a bit. Give yourself another full round of breath here. And when you're ready, release back to center. Right foot down to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands at heart or hips. Other side. Left hip is open here. Ankle or heel can rest right above that left ankle. Maybe the foot's on the calf or up on that inner thigh. Doesn't have to match what you did on the other side. Mine typically doesn't. Feels like it might today. You can keep your hands at your hips. Play with whatever arm placement feels good here. Allowing yourself to explore and wiggle, fall in and out as you need to. Take up space. One more cycle of breath. And then release back to center, both feet to the mat, hands at your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Taking your feet nice and wide here for Malasana. I would say go wider than your mat. Toes are out at 45 degrees. Can bring in a block if that feels good. When you're ready, begin to sink your hips down towards that block or simply towards the floor if you're hovering here. I should say, if your seat is hovering, your feet will still definitely be on the floor unless you've got some cool powers. Pressing into the blade edges of both feet. Left arm reaches towards the floor, right arm towards the sky. Bit of a twist here. See if you can still pull that right knee back if it wants to cave in. Next breath, come back to center. Right hand towards the floor, left arm towards the sky. Same here, keep that left knee open if it's wanting to cave in. Draw your hands back to heart center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Releasing that block out from under you. Taking a seated diamond shape, heels pressed together, heels pull away from the body. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. Head hangs heavy. Hands can rest here on the toes or bring your forearms under the shins if that feels good for you. Just a moment here, knees nice and heavy towards the floor. We did a lot of hip opening. Next breath, lift your upper body out of the shape. Bring soles of the feet to the mat. Knees point up towards the sky. Hands resting somewhere on your shins. Inhale, pull your chest towards your knees. Exhale, round into the shape. Head hangs heavy. Chin towards the chest. 2 full rounds of breath here. I'm going to keep my knees bent. If you feel like extending your legs would feel best, go for it. You can add in a seated forward fold right here. Next breath, lift your upper body out of the shape and make your way down to a reclined position. Lowering down, same way we started practice. Shoulders, head supported by the mat here. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend right knee over left like you're seated in a chair. Arms out to a T or a cactus shape. And let your knees fall towards the left. Twisted roots here, keeping with that tree pun. This can feel nice in the outer hip, but if it feels too intense, unwind your legs, stacking your knees, or take whatever version of a reclined twist feels best for you. Here for just a handful of breaths, but allow yourself to soften, find the shape that feels best. One more full cycle of breath. And come back to center, unwinding the legs, centering the hips. Inhale, lift left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend left knee over right like you're seated in a chair. Allow the knees to fall towards the right here. Again, adjusting however you need to on this side of your body. Might match the other side, it might not. Allow yourself to find the shape that feels soft and easy for you. Breathe here. Next, inhale, unwind back to center. Pulling the knees into the chest here. Little yogi hug, forehead towards the knees. Then extend into Shavasana. Legs extend long, arms hang heavy. Allow your eyes to soften or close. Allow your body to take up space and be soft here. Your only job is to breathe, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you are more than welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, start deepening your inhales and exhales. Then add in whatever gentle movement intuitively feels good to wake up your body. You can wiggle fingers and toes or scrunch and release the face. Making your way to a fetal position on either side. Pause there for just a moment before you press up to any comfortable seated position. Taking a moment with eyes soft or closed to feel into some gratitude. You showed up today and honored your body with movement and with rest, allowing that feeling to sink in. We'll close with a collective breath. Can exhale to prepare. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands back to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thanks for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.